For our Unit 4 Pick Your Own Adventure assignment, we wanted to go with the Underrepresented art group of women artists. So starting off with a table of contents of what our slideshow will be on. So our first artist, Artemisia Gentileschi, and her painting Judith Slaying Holofernes. So who is she? She was born in 1593 and she was raised by her artistic father. She learned her creative skills from him, as well as Agostino Tassi, who later raped her, which was very traumatic physically, mentally, and emotionally. With the trauma she faced, she used women in her art to make them look empowered and dominant over men. After doing this, she became the first woman to ever be accepted into the Academy of Arts of Drawing in Florence, Italy. A little bit more about this painting. It captures a powerful and dramatic scene from the biblical story of Judith. Gentileschi, an Italian painter known for her portrayal of strong female figures, created multiple versions of this subject during her career. In this painting, she shows the moment when Judith, a Jewish widow, and her maidservant, Abra, both with determination, holding Holofernes down while Abra assists in the beheading. This painting is known for its emotional intensity and dramatic use of light and shadow. Our second piece of art is The Child's Bath by Mary Cassatt. Mary is known for her art skills in the Impressionist movement. At the age of 16, Cassatt attended Philadelphia's Pennsylvania Academy of Fine Arts. As usual, women weren't accepted in this field of education. Male faculty and students patronized her, while other Impressionists focused on landscapes and street signs. Cassatt was more focused on portraits of women, more specifically women in everyday domestic settings, especially mothers with their children. This is a significant piece of work reflecting Cassatt's focuses on intimate domestic scenes and her interest in showing the bond between mothers and children. This painting captures a tender and everyday moment between a mother and her child. The scene is in soft, natural light, which enhances the sense of intimacy. This painting also captures Cassatt's interest in Japanese prints because of the flat patterns and simplified forms. Moving on to the Two Fridas by Frida Kahlo. I paint self-portraits because I am so often alone, because I am the person I know best. Who was she? Frida was a Mexican painter known for her colorful self-portraits. She was born in 1907 and died in 1954 at the age of 47. To what was said to be a blockage in the artery of her lung, also known as pulmonary embolism. However, she struggled with her mental health, so it was suspected that it might have been suicide. Growing up, she was diagnosed with pilo, which limited the use of her right leg and foot. At the age of 18, she was impaled by a steel rail during a crash. With being disabled, the physical and emotional toll of it heavily influenced her art. In this iconic painting, Kahlo wants to show two versions of herself sitting side by side, one in traditional attire and the other in a European-style dress. This painting explores the themes of identity and complexities of Kahlo's own heritage and personal history. Kahlo captures her own voice, expressing her struggles with identity and belonging as a Mexican woman with a mixed heritage. The intended audience is people who can empathize with Kahlo's experiences of cultural displacement and the search for self-acceptance. The hearts in the image symbolize the pain that Kahlo has felt in the past from dealing with personal struggles and a complex identity. Male gaze versus female gaze. Male gaze is the idea of a woman's body from a male artist's perspective. In male gaze, women are usually displayed as an object of heterosexual male desire. This idea was introduced by Laura Mulvey, a scholar and filmmaker, in her 1975 essay, Visual Pleasure and Narrative Cinema. Female gaze is the reality of a woman's body from a female artist's perspective. The female gaze is a term used to contrast the male gaze. These two concepts have helped viewers understand the power dynamics in visual media in many forms of art. The importance of women's art. Female artists have helped develop art, created new and realistic forms of art, opened opportunities for other female artists. Art is not what you see, but what you make others see. A quote by Edgar Degas. Thank you for listening. I hope we gave you a bigger perspective on underrated female artists. And then here are our sources.